I would not worry about making the adhesive bleed out look pretty. As long as you have 360-degree bleed out, you know you have coverage. And normally your cable wouldn't be this easy to move. You'd be moving the heat gun around instead of the cable, but for the demonstration it's much easier to move the cable. And it looks like we have pretty good adhesive flow. I'm going to go back and touch the overlap. Now this adhesive you see along the edge here is simply the transfer adhesive that held the tubing back together when we first put it on before we started applying. We'll eventually rub that off. You do not want to remove or rub off the hot melt adhesive. The hot melt adhesive is your environmental seal. And I'm going to apply a little more heat on this side over here. It's looking pretty good. Okay, now what you want to do, you're basically 99% done at this point. You want to let it cool sufficiently so that you can touch it without burning yourself. And if you happen to touch the hot melt adhesive, you want to wait till it's solidified enough that it doesn't stick to you, and then we'll come back and rub the overlap seam and remove the exposed adhesive. Depending on the size of your cable, there may be a very little exposed adhesive, or there may be quite a bit. It really doesn't matter how much the overlap is pulled back, as long as it's still overlapped itself to some degree, because the entire circumference inside has gone molten and bonded the outer sleeve on. So this adhesive that was used to hold the tubing together while we were putting it on is almost unnecessary at this point, because the hot melt adhesive has bonded everything together. Now it's cooled down pretty good, and those are solid enough. They won't stick to me. To remove this, we simply rub this area with your thumb, and do not use any solvents to try and remove this. Just use a mechanical rub motion with your thumb, and the material will ball up ahead of your thumb, and you can remove it and discard it, and you'll have a fairly clean assembly where you don't have a sticky adhesive mass left. And that looks pretty good with that. And now you can rub the material. Like I say, the hot melt has solidified. It's not hot anymore. And there you have a PRT-1553 repair. We successfully repaired the damage in the shield, and we also repaired the damage in the insulated jacket.